Hello, hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to Stars with Stasi, where no matter who or what you are on this cosmic journey, you are welcome here. I'm Stasi, your trusted psychic, intuitive reader, and fellow Scorpio. This is our weekly reading for the week of November 9th through November 15th. We are still in our season, and we are just past the vibes of that full supermoon in Taurus. So there was a lot of tension in the sky between transformation and stability. So let's see what the universe has in store for us as we progress forward in our season. We are approaching the holidays, depending on where you live. So I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest. I already have the social anxiety, which, ugh. And I went out of the house yesterday. Yeah, I left the house yesterday and the stores were crowded. I left. So there it is. All right, guys, if you are new here, welcome home. And for returning subscribers, welcome back. Let's buckle into our energies and show gratitude to the universe. And let's begin. Here this reads. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. And it's true. Let's see what the affirmation reads here. I love this message already. I am not limited by anything past thinking. I am not limited by any past thinking. I choose my thoughts with care. I constantly have new insights and always have new ways of looking at my world. I am willing to change and grow. What a lovely message, honestly. And just a couple of days ago, we had that same underlying message of I am willing to change. So comment this below. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed because thoughts become things. This is the biggest manifesting tool that you have. Period. We all are born with it, like the magician. We have all the tools we need to create the reality we want to see. So when you have those thoughts, those intrusive things that come through, I can't, I don't want to, I'm tired, all of those lower vibrational things, or even I'm angry, I'm revengeful, right? Vengeful, all of those. Take notice, take a deep breath and say, I am human and that is only a thought. So again, it's only a thought and a thought can be changed. Document that below and you can be entered into next week's free mini read. And I'll be doing the winner at the end of this reading, so stay tuned. Here, this is number 22. Let it come forth. Give yourself permission to feel it. Indeed, give yourself the permission to feel it, but then once you feel it, once you sit in it, release it, alchemize that energy, and place it in your favor so that you are in a position of strength at all times. 22 is a master number, but 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 is a number of foundation. It is a number of strength. It is a pillar of strength. So remember that, when you are feeling some sort of way, think of the image of a square in your mind. That actually helps, right? You can ground yourself that way. Another number 4. Here we go. Expression. You see that? Find your voice, bottled up emotions, and communicate. Interesting. There's already a theme here about feel it, allow yourself to express it, but then alchemize it. So the universe is being very clear about this week, right? You may start feeling some sort of way that isn't in your best interest, but also you can't just be dismissive. You have to allow, especially because we're Scorpios, right? Doesn't matter what placement you are. We are water signs. We're fixed water. So you have to allow yourself the time and energy to sit in it. Those intrusive thoughts matter. They are telling you a story, but you are the author of your story. You can change it. You can address it. That's the important part. You are in control, Scorpio, 100%. Don't let another person's actions or inactions live rent-free in your mind. It will run your world if you let it. Here we've got the Sun card, which is one of my favorites. It is the brightest star in the sky. We've got the Six of Cups, which is Scorpio energy, and then we have the High Priestess. So I want to show you here, there's a lot of thinking going on. There's a lot of energy as well, and the desire of freedom. Six of Cups can sometimes be the energy of things coming full circle or a pattern presenting itself. So we're going to dig deeper and see what that's about. The Sun card for me is that energy, right? That desire of like, yes, freedom, happiness, vitality, youthful energy as well. So as you can see, this person is more than happy to be in that energy of the sun and being energized by it. And I do think there is some nostalgia going on. And again, especially depending on where you live, holidays are approaching. People are planning trips. People are planning to go home or have people come over. I think it's super important to remember you do not need to overextend yourself during this time. I think that in the United States, we have a lot going on. So, do what you can and allow it to feel good for yourself. We've got the Chariot card coming through, and you can see here, this is a card of victory. This is also a card of forward progression. And a lot of people see this as like fast, right? Fast moving energy. I see this card as victory through stability, victory through neutrality, right? Because you see that you've got allegedly opposite energies. And I say allegedly because all things come full circle. But you have the two stallions here, the two horses, and you see this person here even on top of the chariot. And they are looking forward. They are very focused and they are central between the two energies here. So let's see what that looks like. I feel like the universe is giving us a lot of messages saying, hey, listen, you're going to have a lot of emotions coming up, but you got to get a handle on it. Don't be pulled in either direction so quickly. Sit in it, have control over it, right? You steer this chariot. Also, we have at this point, right, because this is November 9th through the 15th, at this point, Mercury is deep in the retrograde vibes. So there is a lot of reflection going on. And it could be because you start to see a pattern emerge, or you are going back to a familiar place, visiting familiar people. Guys, don't forget to comment below. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Here we've got the Hanged Man, another card of reflection. Interesting. And the Knight of Pentacles. Let me keep going here. Tell me more, please. I've got the King of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. What's interesting is in yesterday's reading, the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords came out pretty much together. So rather than looking at this as a partnership, which of course for some Scorpios it could be, you could be having some thoughts about your partnerships that you're in and considering whether it's appropriate to move forward, but we're going to set that aside because since this is a time of reflection, it's not just limited to your partnerships, it's limited to the energy you extend of yourself to others. It's limited to how much it applies to how much time you put into your business, your work, your family. This is about the extension of your energy in other facets of your life. While kings are, seen as masculine energy and queens are seen as feminine, truly the meaning of them is a king is action oriented, where the queen is receptive energy. So the Queen of Cups is receptive to the truth, right? Because air element. So she's receptive to the truth, information. She's very intellectual. She's receptive to clarity and ideas. And the king here is taking action for happiness and emotional fulfillment and enjoyment of life. We have this with the central card being the Four of Swords. The universe is saying, hey, if you've got to take a time out right? Just like I walked out of those stores yesterday because that is not in my highest and best to be around all that energy. I just don't like it. And I know that of myself. Years ago, people would push me, Stasi, you've got to get out there. You've got to put yourself, get out of the house. Okay, but I'm not going to be uncomfortable to fulfill somebody else's thoughts of how I should live. If it doesn't feel good to me, I don't need to do it. Right. But I did sit in that energy long enough to say, yeah, it's still not for me. And that's just a small example of like the bigger things we're going to be coming across this week. I think that the universe is challenging us to really take inventory of our thoughts, our actions, and our desires. We are meant for more. We are meant for greater and bigger things. So the challenge is here. But like that chariot, you've got to sit in it, you've got to examine it, and you've got to focus and progress forward. The Hanged Man is number 12, and I want to show you here. Number 12. 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 is a number of creation. Where does that creation come from? It comes from discomfort. Honestly, when you are comfortable, things become stagnant. We are fixed signs. If it feels good, we don't want to rock the boat. But at the end of the day, stagnation, eliminates creativity, it eliminates desire and drive. It just becomes comfortable. Think of a relationship where you might have had that in any aspect of your life. You keep someone around because they've been grandfathered in and it's just what the devil When you're taking the Hanged Man position, you're actually in a place of discomfort and you get comfortable being uncomfortable. You look around, you say, yeah, this doesn't feel good, but why doesn't it feel good? You have no choice but to look at it from a different perspective, right? This person is suspended, but they're gaining that enlightenment through that discomfort, which is creating the change that they need. And the way the universe is showing me these cards, it's creating the change that you need to break out of a comfortable pattern and release it and relax and become, this almost looks like an incubation period, right? Every time I see this card, I see that this person is healing their heart. They're paying attention to their heart song. They are nestled in this nest, for lack of better word. I mean, for me, when I get really uncomfortable, I put on my robe, I put the hood on, and I'm in it. You guys have seen my cloak of comfort, especially on Instagram. I wear it a lot. It is a fuzzy robe. It makes me happy. It's my reset, neurospicy comfort item. So I feel like there's an energy here of that, just like decompressing and kind of incubating again. I feel like there's a real rebirth energy, but you're not starting from seed, right? You're starting from experience and discernment, because here we've got that Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles can be seen as the slowest moving knight in the deck, but all knights, again, are action oriented. They are in pursuit of. This person is looking for a place to plant their pentacles. They're looking for a path that will yield them lifelong results. Less effort, more like bigger bang for your buck. That's what this person's looking for. We can't just pull energy out of the ethers. We generally have to reduce energy from a person, place, or thing and replant it somewhere else. And I feel that's what this incubation period of change through the disruption is asking us to do. Gather in the troops energetically, reset your energy, have some discernment, replant for the upcoming seasons, right? Whatever intentions you lay out for yourself, because we do have a new moon in Scorpio, our sign. So take advantage of this. Start planning now for your intentions, what you're planting for the next 6 months, right? These are 6-month cycles. Whatever you start manifesting for this new moon in Scorpio, I believe it's happening the 19th, depending on where you are. Those intentions, right, as you go to plant those seeds, those energetic seeds, come to fruition. And the universe is saying, work your magic, mind magic. Again, It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. You are not stuck in a position. It may feel that way, but you're stuck in a mindset. So it starts here for sure. Have some discernment, break these patterns. The universe is providing you the energy to do so, and it's going to yield some really amazing results. So I'm going to clarify these cards to see if there's anything else that we need to focus on, if there's any other messages, and then I will do some shadow work, some good vibes, and then we'll get into next week or this week's winner. So again, comment below. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Reclaim your power, because only you can do it, Scorpio. And honestly, look, an end of a mental battle is ahead. This is what this is telling me. The Sun card is being clarified by the Ten of Swords. You are reclaiming your power and your energy because you're putting an end to it. I will say this. In this particular card, this person is doom scrolling potentially, or they're finding out information on the internet, and or they're being told, like, this is gossipy vibes. Somebody says, hey, I got to tell you, I saw so and so, or we're going to leave it alone. The point is, because I see the Queen of Swords here, it's like you're going to listen to it, you're going to be receptive to it, but you're not going to carry it. You're putting an end to it. This might also be a good time to do a doom scroll reset. Like, honestly, sometimes I find myself, because I have social media platform, spending maybe too much time looking at my numbers, looking at content, preparing for the next video, and that isn't always healthy, right? So just pull back your resources energetically. The Six of Cups being clarified by the Page of Swords. I've been saying this. I feel like Scorpios are going to take on a class, a new course of study, learn something new, or focus on a new path. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out. Let me put these cards out, because that's what the universe is asking of me. Interesting. Yeah, there's some decisions to be made here this week. I've got the High Priestess with the Queen of Wands, and that's saying, like, you're probably better suited, Scorpio, to use your time and energy in a way that causes the type of transformation where you reclaim that main character energy. There's something about having been in the background or in the background noise for too long. This is our season. This is our time of rebirth. This is when we do plant our seeds and we do act intentionally. And this is our new year. So the Queen of Wands is that of, she's receptive to being main character. She's receptive to the attention. She's going to pay attention to her looks and again, this is for masculine and feminine. This is just about, like, resetting yourself, calling back your energy. Get some new threads. If it's in your budget, get some new threads, or change up your wardrobe, your look, your hair. Just, there's something here about changing the costume, right? All the world's a stage. Change your costume. Pay attention to you. Liven it up. And I think that Scorpios are going to start planning out, like, their next big thing. The Knight of Pentacles, again, with the Chariot card. We talked a lot about that already, where there's discernment here, and that is the path to victory, right? Just reeling back in the energy, being more discerning, and planting that seed for the next 6 months. I'm telling you, start planning now how you're going to work this new moon in Scorpio. It's our season, right? I'm a big proponent of the lunations and working planetary magic, but you don't have to do what I do. The awareness is enough. Going outside during a full moon, a new moon, just understanding the rhythm, the basic rhythm of the universe, and being grateful that it's there, that, acknowledging it starts an entire path of High Priestess vibes. It opens up your intuition in a way that, there just are no words. So start planning now, because this period of discomfort, again, I told you, is leading you to a new beginning for yourself. The Fool card comes forward. And I said it earlier, you're not starting from seed, you're starting from experience, you're starting from discernment. that fool right there, right? If you can see how their robe is ripped, and they've done this before, right? This isn't, this person has, again, freedom and is being carefree. I mean, basically, these cards are signifying the same type of vibe, putting the end to something through a period of discomfort and starting something fresh with carefree energy. Knight of Pentacles over here with the King of Swords. I have to say, this is coming through as well. If you've been involved in any type of legalities, or if you have are about to change something that requires contract, whether that be through work, custody, divorce, home ownership, any number of life's events require contracts. You may want to have a second set of eyes on it. That King of Swords is coming through as a third party professional in my mind right now. And it's just saying, hey, maybe you do need to rest from a difficult situation, because here we've got the Five of Swords, and this is about strategy. And I'm hearing that it's going to be important to reel in a third, another set of eyes, a third party, so that you can get this much needed rest from something that's stressful and play a different strategy. Here we've got the Six of Wands, which is victory, with that King of Cups. The key to your happiness and winning and success is by maybe causing and creating some distance, having another set of eyes. Again, this is for you in any matters where there's a contract or even a verbal contract, like a strong promise. Yeah, I'm seeing that pretty clearly. So it's a general reading. So if you're looking for something more specific or you want like individualized guidance, I am happy to work with you. Head over to my website at starswithstasi.com. And also, guys, if you are looking for holiday gifts, I do want to say this because I was talking about my Otter Spirit bracelets. Look down at the description box and you can get all of the discounts. Everything is listed there, including my website. So, just that came to mind as well, because I'm thinking about like contracts and all the things. Let's see. This is also about making decisions here with the Queen of Swords and the Two of Swords. You see that the Queen of Swords, contemplation, and the Two of Swords. Recently, I had someone ask me, I think it was yesterday, what does spiritual rest mean to me? That's coming through as well, because I'm seeing the High Priestess here and I'm seeing a lot of cards of regrouping. If you're doing a lot of prayer work, if you're doing a lot of prayer work, a lot of spiritual work, or you are getting, because the veil is so thin right now, a lot of intuitive hits, the way to reset and rest is through contemplative work, which is really good to do during lunations, right? It's all about sitting down and reviewing what your guides have been discussing with you, the dreams you've been having. A lot of people are having some really significant dreams. And what does it mean to you? Meditation is not always an art of stillness, especially if you're neurospicy. I feel like the universe really wants me to touch on this. I cannot and don't like to and don't get much out of constant sitting in prayer and just quiet, right? Sometimes my prayer and meditation comes through movement. If you've ever seen a Hasidic Jew, for example, somebody, when they are, it's called shucking, and it's like this energy of like rocking and movement that works really well for me. I am also a person that does a lot of dance, and when my body allows, and that type of movement, right? That focusing on the body movement allows me a freedom of the mindset. And I get a lot of messages that way. Song, writing, journaling, anything. When you sit down intentionally with with the desire and goal to interpret messages and to reset, that's all very magical and matters. So I don't know, that just came through. I think that this reading just kind of went all over the place at the end here, but I'm getting a lot of messages and I've got to honor those, especially during my weekly readings, because I prepare for these differently. So all right, Scorpio, in closing with this message, I think that we've definitely discussed about resetting the energy and also having to make some decisions comes through getting assistance with difficult tasks, especially anything contractually. Don't forget, we are in a retrograde, so it's probably a very good idea. I will say again, if you're planning travel for whatever reason between now and March, build in extra time. I've been saying that for months. And as you can see, it's true. Government shutdowns, airport backups, that's affecting everyone. Difficult weather patterns. So who knows what the next few months will bring us, but build in extra time, have backup transportation available, right? If you were going to rent a car, also plan to see what it looks like to take a train or to Uber, right? Those things are super important. These predictions have been very accurate so far. So, anything else that I need to? One second while I check in. They're just showing me the importance of dreams. And they're also saying that remember that, how do I word that? Okay, they're saying that when you are dreaming, each character is a aspect of you. Just like in real, I don't know what real life is anymore, but just like in this 3D, each player is an aspect of you. We're all the observer. And they're just saying, so pay attention to who is coming through, what role they're playing, what they're saying, and then apply it to yourself. So especially if you're having dreams with people that you would rather never ever see again, something's unresolved in the background. And it's not that you need to resolve it with that person. Get that out of your mind. This is about like an energy that's stirring up. I don't know. I find that to be very true. I've definitely had a couple of dreams recently where I'm just like, ew, what are you doing here? You're the last person I want to see. But because I understand it's not about the person, it's about I wouldn't have paid as much attention to that individual unless it was a real big irritant. So whatever messages they said during the dream or whatever actions they took make me go, okay, all right, I got to focus on that, if that makes sense. So again, these are only thoughts. It's only a thought, and thoughts can be changed. Interesting, because this card came up not too long ago. So here we are again, number 29, cherishing versus suppressing. So again, don't suppress your emotions, but also cherish your freedom. This, I've pointed this out before. This sunflower here, there's a person here that's suppressing part of this beauty, part of standing out. Why? Is it fear? Is it, we don't know why, is the bottom line. So you have to figure out for you what's been holding you back. And the biggest message comes of because you overgive and you leave nothing for yourself. And that is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So number 29 reduces to 11. 11, another master number, having you focus on the relationship with yourself and your freedom. All right. And let's look at this empath card, because as the veil continues to be super, super thin, I think it's important to guard your energy. And again, I'm a big believer, as you know, in wearing, different stones. I believe in whatever. Like I don't care what you do, just be intentional and guard and protect your heart and your energy. It's so important. This reads, practice patience. Press the pause button. Literally press the pause button. Take a day off from being frustrated with yourself and others. Patience reaps great rewards. You don't have to rush everything, right? There is no deadline except for the one you create, because again, it's only a thought. Thoughts can be changed. Practice patience with yourself. Practice patience at home. If you have children, no matter what age they are, practice patience, right? They're going through their own journey. Observe it, be proud of it, but release it because it's not yours. Scorpio, thank you so much for your time, your likes, your shares, subscribes. Hype up this video if you feel called to do so. It is really helping my channel grow. Look at the numbers for yourself. Every comment that you leave, every ounce of energy is so appreciated, and I couldn't do this without you. This community really has grown into something better than I could have ever imagined. So hang tight, and I will be doing the winner of last week's mini reading. I am so grateful again. Thank you, Scorpio. And remember that we are all stars from the sky with feet on the ground, doing the best we can with the information that we have. So be kind to yourselves and each other. The winner of last week's mini read is, let's see, Judy Callan, KAHLAN 9724. Congratulations, Judy. Thank you for being a supporter of this channel and for commenting. So we're going to take a look at what the universe has in store for you. Let's take a look at the next 6 weeks for you. All right. So everyone else, if you want to hang out and see what a mini read is all about, feel free to do so. And let's cheer Judy on and send her some good vibes. All right. So Judy, I think you left a comment. I think you said that you have twins. I have so many comments, but I think that yours said something about twins. So we'll see if Gemini energy shows up out of curiosity, but either way, congratulations. And I'm using the Witch's Tarot for you. Let's reset. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, interdimensional beings overseeing this act of divination for Judy. I have the Tower card coming through with the Six of Cups. You're definitely breaking a pattern, for sure, for sure. This also tells me, ironically enough, we talked about twins, and you see how there are 2 kids here playing, but that's not what I'm picking up on. I'm picking up on you're healing an inner child wound. Is very deep off the get. I'm picking up on, and it makes sense. It does. As we have our kids, as we have traditions, like pattern things show up. Again, I don't know what country you're in, but here a lot of people get triggered by the holidays. It makes them think of things that they didn't have or were forced to do growing up, all that stuff. Whatever it is, it's a very reflective time in general. The Tower card with the Six of Cups just tells me that there's a sudden shakeup in your thinking, and that you really are just saying, that's not as important to me. Or, that was never about something I wanted to do. Queen of Cups comes forward, which is the mother vibe. This could be about the way you see parenting or the way you were parented, but I am picking up on inner child. I hate to say inner child wounds, but that's the terminology most of us are familiar with. Take this one. Okay. I do have the Two of Pentacles coming forward with the Strength card. 8 of Cups, 7 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. This really screams things having to do with family and resources. So let's start with the Two of Pentacles and the Strength card. This being about the next 6 weeks, this actually does cover a lot of the holiday seasons. So there's something here about you pulling back on your resources. I don't know if you're a big gift giver or if you're a person that has people over all the time, but just energetically and physically, you may want to just say, how about you host this year? Or how about, instead of gifts, we just spend time together. Let's do a Zoom call and connect. There's something here about you just putting up some boundaries, and I'll show you more here. Okay, let me reel it in. With the Two of Pentacles and the Strength card, it's going to take some courage to put your foot down, but this says be mindful of biting off more than you can chew, right? That just think this person's juggling energy, finances, all the things, and it's just too much, right? There's something here about it being too much, and you recognizing that if it's too much for you, that's enough to say no, and no is a complete sentence. It requires no further explanation. So there's a courage here that you've got to face. You've got to face something like you don't have to be everything to everyone all the time. There's, mama needs a break. That's how it comes through. And then I do have the 8 of Cups coming forward with the 7 of Wands, which is boundaries, and the 10 of Pentacles. So 8 of Cups, you're ready to add more happiness and joy in your life. You could have recently been coming out of, I hate to say depression, but just days of lackluster, unfulfillment, same old, right? 8 of Cups, this person has 8 full cups. It is enough. They're not drowning. This isn't awful energy by any means, but you want more for yourself. You want happiness and freedom, and the 9 and 10 of Cups. And while you may not know what that looks like, you know it looks like more. It looks like better for you. How do you get that? Boundaries, right? Where your energy ends and someone begins. You cannot fix other people. It's not your job. It screws with their progression and your karma if you subscribe to that. So understand that this is just about being aware of where you start and where you end, and what's theirs is theirs and theirs to mind. When I say you're going from the 8 because you want your 9 and 10, that actually is validated here by the 10 of Pentacles. This is generations of love and happiness and family and fulfillment, and that is what you want. So if you need to make changes and build boundaries, this is your sign to do so, because there is some type of pattern that's being broken through self-awareness. Judy, I hope that was helpful. It really does resonate with the message that just came out for basically the general reading for the week, but it does look like this is going to be something progressing for you over the next several weeks. So I wish you all the best. May you have the happiest year ahead yet. And of course, welcome back. May the magic that we weave and the words that we speak bring healing to all those who seek it. Have a great week ahead, Scorpio. And of course, stay tuned, because I will be having some special gifts for us in the upcoming readings. Shine brightly.